My entire thing about it is that it was consistently between those two genuinely yet Kim became wary of, and she wasn't taking him in the event that he put his hands on her. She was going at him folks this tale about how Kim Watchman truly kicked the bucket just took an entirely different chaotic turn. And presently her loved ones need the case resumed. So the thing has Kimora Lee said about the circumstance. And what precisely do the loved ones need? P.S. The watchword is you presumably got it. Did he love Oak? When Kim Watchman passed, Kimora Lee was one individual who showed up at her home, and in view of photographs and recordings taken from that day, she was totally crushed. She likewise gave the most sincere recognition on Instagram, writing to a limited extent, "This is fantastic." When I previously heard the news, I was furious that somebody would play such a moronic joke. They said you were in your room, resting, Aoki, and I raced to your home to advise you to get up and come at this point outside yet. When I showed up, I understood you wouldn't come yet. Here's the thing, as of late, there have been a ton of improvements about what truly befell Kim Dorman on the grounds that, as per a portion of her superstar companions, that anecdote about how she got pneumonia and passed on a couple of days after the fact is some BS. Well, the principal thing that is causing a stir is the way that the representative coroner Ed Winter, who took care of the case, kicked the bucket in a real sense. Only half a month prior, he's a similar coroner who found a dubious poison when he was attempting to sort out what befell Kim Watchman. At the time, Ed Winter said that the circumstance should have been examined further, yet he was supplanted by another coroner, and it required a long investment for the second coroner to reason that Kim had passed due to pneumonia. At any rate, other than that it has become exposed in light of what Kim's loved ones have been spilling that in the days paving the way to her demise, Kim was attempting to reach out to her essential specialist since she felt like something was off base. Sadly, she was unable to reach out to her PCP. She obviously found it bizarre that the specialist didn't return to her, since she had never had an issue arriving at the specialist. Before then, Kim purportedly let Diddy know that she was unable to contact her PCP, and he alluded her to an alternate specialist. Fascinating. And here's something different that was peculiar around that time. As per the companions, Diddy said that Kim sent the twins to him since she didn't maintain that they could get this season's virus shot. Had he said 3 days before she passed, she wasn't feeling great, she had influenza. And she sent the children over to my home so they wouldn't become ill one night I was minding her. And she resembled Puffy deal with my infants. She really expressed that to me before she kicked the bucket. Yet, as per dependable sources, the twins told 2 of Kim's sweethearts that they were at that point booked to go to their dad, and it was only an occurrence that their mother felt wiped out at that point. So Diddy lied about Kim sending the children to him without arranging again. Exceptionally fascinating. It gets significantly juicier on the grounds that evidently 2 of Kim's VIP companions connected with the essential specialist, and the specialist apparently said that he never got a call from Kim, and he didn't realize that Kim was wiped out. Really, the main thing I realized that seems oak is that someone got to Kim's PCP before she did, and her correspondence to the specialist was obstructed ahead of time. Would you like to realize something much more insane, as per the companions who are unidentified? And one might actually be Kimora. The prior night Kim passed on, she messaged several her companions and let them know he got me. She additionally recommended in the message that she had been harmed, which wouldn't be a first in Hollywood, right? They have harms that make coronary failure and pneumonia-like side effects. Additionally, when Diddy appeared with the security at Kim Watchman's home, seized her telephone. Supposedly one of the companions even examined Diddy concerning why he was so engrossed with her telephone when Kim had in a real sense just died. The companions likewise expressed that there were inquiries among them about how Kim passed on in light of the fact that things simply didn't make any sense as per them, assuming that whoever gave the report demands that it was pneumonia and that Kim passed on calmly in her rest. Then they ought to make sense of why there was blood found on Kim's pillowcases. And furthermore, a slight path of blood on the room floor that prompted the washroom. Purportedly, Kim was not found entered in her bed. She was found on the restroom floor. And in the event that they found her in bed, she was decisively positioned there now. I couldn't say whether the companion who was giving out that data was Kimora, yet since she was quite possibly of Kim's dearest companion, I can wager that she likewise had questions. And taking into account Diddy's set of experiences, with ladies resuming the case, and documenting an unjust demise suit isn't unrealistic at this, is the very man that got another lady pregnant when Kim was pregnant. And as though going behind Kim's back with a side piece wasn't sufficient, he likewise verbally genuinely, and actually wrecked her Diddy's previous protector quality arrangement, truly affirmed the charges when he said that Diddy had not just broken Kim's nose, which was consequently camouflaged as plastic medical procedure, yet she likewise once lit his wrist during a battle to move away. Recall one of Diddy's different exes. Gina likewise uncovered how gravely she was dealt with when they were seeing someone was like intellectually genuinely and actually mishandling me. Gina even described how at one point Diddy took off one of her heels and attempted to toss it at her. Then Diddy mushed her face so hard that her nose singed additionally. Other than being intellectually truly and genuinely hurt, she additionally needed to dispose of more than one pregnancy. Well, I told him, and he was like, you will stand out right. And afterward I resembled, I don't know, I don't have any idea yet. And afterward he'd offered me 50,000 to dispose of it, yet I turned it down in light of the fact that, I simply cherished him. So it's not insane for Kim's companions, like Kimora, to demand that the case be returned for additional examination. There's truly a source that spilled that Kim's loved ones are now looking for legitimate counsel and are in quest for hitting Jingle with a claim for unfair passing. The source guaranteed that the family is said to have actual proof to help their case and that they have been unquestionably broken by Kim's passing, since they feel she didn't kick the bucket from normal causes. Clearly, this multitude of arising insights concerning Kim are likewise expected to be uncovered in a book that her loved ones have been attempting to deliver, yet Diddy won't allow them to deliver the book. One individual who has been adding to the book has even said, simply needed to tell you that Scene has placed the clasps on Kim Watchman's book from making it to the racks. That's right, he don't come down on every one of the gatherings associated with the cycle of assembling the book. And I get why Diddy wouldn't believe that book should raise a ruckus around town, since it obviously delves into subtleties of how Kim would do insane stuff for him. How she held I'll make certain back from running into Diddy and telling him not to go to specific places, and how the East and West Coast faked things to kill Tupac and Big Deal to get their Lord Sin's pod, and Big Deal were supposedly wanting to get together to challenge Terrible Kid and Death Row for the privileges to their music. The book additionally obviously goes into the particulars of how Kim was abused, from how her home was being wired to how telephone lines were tapped, and how could he pay staff to watch her intently, and even subtleties of how could he needed full guardianship of their twins. Yet Kim took steps to uncover him on the off chance that he at any point took